Alright guys, today we're going to make flashbacks in Amnesia, and you probably already know what they are and how they look, but I'm going to give a little example of how one could potentially be. Of course there's no set, but well, there's a certain thing of how they are, but they're not all the same, of course. But I'm going to show you a little something that I have right here, but it's also how this tutorial is going to end up being like, so that if you see that this is what you're looking for, then you can follow along later to see how it is done. So yeah, I'm just going to show you the flashback I have right here then.
So, have you ever been to one of these before?
No, never in my life. I just wish Annabelle would have felt better, so she could have joined us.
Oh, poor soul. Well, believe me, you're going to love every moment of it. It's not something every peasant can afford to go to.
What can I say? I'm really curious to attend this new experience.
You see, I told you it was something unique, and it really calms your thoughts down.
When you are right, my friend. I guess I owe you this one. I'm sure Annabelle would have enjoyed it as well.
And that is how that one goes, and if you notice there were subtitles and everything. So if you just have one sound file, it's going to be a little more, little less flexible, but the way I'm going to do it is, well, how it is supposed to be done. You split every line into different sound files and play them accordingly after each other. Anyways, let's get on to actually doing it. Alright, so let's do this then. I have opened my custom story folder right here, which has the files that you need to run, that you need to be able to run a custom story functionally, or the best. Anyways, you can download most of these files in my description if you do not have them already. So in case you haven't set up your custom story, you can download them if you're missing anything, just to make things a little easier. Today I'm also going to provide another download link for the actual flashback file. Even though this is not necessary, you can do it a little easier, but if you prefer to do it this way, then you have the option to. Basically what the flashback is that it is its own flash file. It's a .flash file right here, and what you define in this file is what's going to happen in the actual flashback. So what you actually do to enable it is very simple, but what you need to define it is, well, it's not exactly hard, it just requires a little more work. Alright, so I'm also going to say, if you're using a Windows computer, then don't worry, this tutorial will also work for you, so don't scare away those viewers if I have any. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to open the level editor that I have right here. You should be able to know where to find it anyways. I'm going to open a map that I prepared for this, which is what you saw in the actual example. It's kind of big map, or kind of interesting map, I suppose. Actually, I'm not going to make it yet. This is the actual flashback area. It's not much. What it has, you just go on the area tab and define it right here. But I'm going to delete this one, and I'm going to come back here a little later to actually place it in there, because what you need first, let me do that. What you need before you do place it in the level, you need the actual file and everything. And if you do not have a flashback file, let's make one. Alright, so if you do not have this file to start with, you could either download it from my description if you want to make things simple, but if you do not, then it's probably just as quick to go to the actual base flashbacks folder right here and just select anyone, copy it, and take it over to your folder, flashback, and paste the item here, and then you can just rename it. Just make sure that it also still has the .flash extension, so flash 2, I guess, even though I'm probably going to use the same one. But alright, so yeah, just you can rename it like this, and then you're going to have to open it with a text editor. I'm going to use text edit for Mac. Also, this is a sticky note just for the actual text I'm going to use later for the sound files. Oh yeah, and about sound files, we're going to need those as well. So this is the main folder again, and if you go inside voices, or actually you can just make a folder for it. Just make a folder called voice flashback or something, just somewhere you can have all of the files. And these are the files that I have for my flashback. And this one is the first sentence, or well, the first line, and then there's the second line. If I were to open them, you can see how they sound.
So, have you ever been to one of these before?
And this is the second one.
No, never in my life. I just wish Annabelle would have felt better.
And stuff. So you know, every time it changes which character it reads, or if maybe the sentence is very long, you can split it up to different files. So right here we have this conversation between these two people, split up to 6 different files, as you saw in the example. Well, you didn't see it in the example, but that's how it's split up, and the result is in the example. So you're going to have to place all of these files in a custom folder somewhere. If you're going to make a full conversion mod, you're going to have to define the folders a little bit more, but for a custom story it doesn't really matter. Just make a folder. I called it Flashbacks, and here I have the files. And if you have recorded something and exported it, and you don't know how to make it an OGG file, which is what it's required to have, you can use the converter that I link in the description. You can just upload MP3 and download OGG. It's very simple, unless you already can export it as OGG, that is. Right, so now let's say that you have all of these files, and you have of course arranged them in the order that you need them. So this I named them like this: Flash 1, this is the first flashback of the game, _1, meaning that it is the first sentence of the first flashback, and this is the second sentence of the first flashback, just to keep things organized. You could probably just make a new folder called Flashback 1 anyways, but just make sure that the name, all these names are unique to any other file in the whole Amnesia directory. So Flash 1 _1 is probably a little too general, because if you have other custom stories installed that have the same name of the file, the engine might confuse the files and play the wrong one. So just make sure that it is unique. Alright, so I also have a music folder right here which has the Flash 1 _ music, which is what was played in the background of this whole thing. Because you can also, you don't need to do this, but you can. And yeah. So now, let's say you have the music and you have the voice files, all in OGG format. You go to the Flashback folder, and you have the Flash file already. If you didn't, just copy it or download. And then you can open it with a text editor. I believe I have that as first option. No, maybe on this one. Yeah, I do on this one. And this is how it actually looks. So let me expand that a little more like this. And this is how it looks right now. So it starts with flashback and voices in diamond brackets and ends with slash, just to close them. And these will define whatever is played and displayed. So first of all, it says voice, and then voice sound with capitals, yeah, as you can see, equals quote quote. Inside of these quotes is the name of the first voice OGG file. So this is Flash 1 _1. If you just put the same name in here, the engine is very good at looking, so it will likely find the file right away. You don't need to define which folder it's going to be in or anything. Just make sure that there are no other files, because if there are several files in the Amnesia root folder with the same name, it could find the wrong file. So just be sure it's unique. And in my case this is unique, but it could not be. Anyway, the second thing is effect sound, and this is the actual background music. You only want to define this one in the first voice sound, because if you define it in every one, it's going to start playing more and more of them, so it's going to play several of them. You just want it to be played once, so just place it inside there, the first one. And then there's the text category. This is for the subtitles of the whole thing. So actually let's go and do that. And I have my extra English.lang right here, and it is quite a big file by now, so if you're not too good with this, it could be a little confusing maybe. So let's say that I don't have this category right here, because yeah, let's just delete that. And the first thing here, the text cat, is the category in your lang file. So just open your extra English.lang, and you're going to define inside of these quotes the category name. So if you do not have a category for flashbacks yet, you could make one. So I'm going to copy a previous one, which pretty much says category name, quote sign, and slash category with entries. I'm going to copy this one, and I'm also going to copy the banner, just because it keeps things organized for me. And I'm going to rename the category to Flashbacks, like that. Oh, flashback. And then I'm going to just type flashback in here as well. Like that. Alright. And here we have our flashback category. And then you just have a normal entry inside of that. And I'm gonna try putting this code in the description, well, but except the problem is I can't put diamond brackets in the description, so you're gonna have to put them yourself. I might replace them with parentheses. Anyways, here is entry name equals door 1. Well, that is actually from this one, so let's just delete the name and the entry in it. So here's an empty entry. It's just entry name equals quote close slash entry. Alright, so inside the quotes you write the name of it, and I'm gonna call it the same as before in or the same as the actual voice files, because you're gonna need one entry for each voice file. So flash 1_1. And in the text entry I'm going to paste what I have on this sticky note, because it would take a while to actually type this in, so I'm just going to copy it and paste it in here. And this is what is actually talked about, spoken. This is what is actually said in the flashback itself. So just put whatever subtitles you want in here. This is actually what is going to be displayed at the bottom of the screen while this sound file is playing. So this is, if you didn't already know, this line is going to be done, and once it has finished, it's going to run this line. So it depends on what order you put them. And as soon as this sound file is done playing, it's going to start playing this one, and it's going to also change what is displayed. And the text entry, the last one after category, is the actual name of the entry, which is flash_1 or flash1_1, and which is the same I have here. Just make sure that they match. And then you're going to have the text here. And now I'm going to duplicate this line and paste it below it, actually 5 times, because we're going to make flash 1_2, _3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I'm going to take the text that I have here again and replace what is inside with the different subtitles that are going to appear during the flashback. So like that, and I'm going to do like this, copy this line. Of course, these lines will be different for whatever you have. These are just the lines that I have in my voice files. And these voice files are, by the way, from a custom story that a friend of mine has released called The Untold. So yeah, the voice acting is really great. It's my friends who actually did the voice acting. I'm really impressed by the quality of it. It sounds great. Anyways, now I have pasted in all of these, and the names are different from each of them to define them, which after you made the first line, you just copy it, paste it below, and change the voice file, remove the music file, and change the subtitle entry. And once you have all of the ones that you need, I have only 6 voice files for this flashback, but you could have a lot of them. Then you just save the file and you close it, and I believe we're done with the extra English.lang as well, so you can just close that file as well. And now we're going to open the level again, right here. So this is how you actually add the flashback. You go to area and you select flashback, which is the 3rd one, and then you just drag the area that you're going to collide with. So this pretty much adds a collide check for whenever you enter this area. It's going to execute the flashback. After that, you just click on it, and you'll be on the general tab. You don't really need to give it any of these. You can make it inactive or active depending on whenever you want to actually activate this, but just have it active if you want to appear or to execute the first time you enter this. And then you go on the area tab and flashback file. Click on the browser and find the .flash file. So I have mine in custom story flashbacks flash1.flash. The other one was just a test. So just click load on that file, and the callback is unnecessary. You don't need to put anything here, but if you do put anything here, you can script with it. So pretty much if you put a name in here for a function, then you can execute things as soon as the flashback is over, but this is not really required. This is just for things in your workflow if you want other things to happen, or, well, I guess that's how you explain it. If you want something to happen when the flashback is over, you can put it in this function in the script. Anyways, after that you're going to save the map, and that is actually everything we need to do, and I'm just going to launch the game now and see if everything is as we want it to be. Alright, so here we are in the level again, and let's just step into the area and listen to it.
So, have you ever been to one of these before?
No, never in my life. I just wish Annabelle would have felt better, so she could have joined us.
And yeah, as you can hear, everything is working, and the music is playing, and all of these screen effects and the fact that you're walking slow is part of the actual flashback itself. You don't need to do anything about that to define it. And yeah, that should be everything for this tutorial, and well, thank you for watching, and if you have any trouble or questions, just ask me and I will try to help you the best I can. And other than that, if you liked the video, I would really appreciate if you would, yeah, press the like button. It motivates me to make more of these tutorials. Other than that, yeah, I'll see you later.